Today I want to talk about an update to the story that suggests that we might be learning about a new Legend of Zelda game sometime soon, potentially a new spin-off within the series. And while I am in the mindset that we will see something Legend of Zelda in the year of 2024, as Nintendo typically likes to stick to a new Zelda game per calendar year of some kind in the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, with the exception of 2022, obviously with the Tears of the Kingdom delay. But while there are some beloved ports and remasters that could be on the table for this year, aka Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, there could also be the reveal of something that features Zelda as the main playable character this time. And you know, it doesn't mean we're gonna see like a Princess Peach Showtime but Zelda edition. It could be something entirely different, and there's now some new information floating around online from the original source who did put out this rumor, or rather just straight up call it a hint, from the name of Papa Genos, who has gotten some select things right in the past. So we'll break down all those exact details and have a broad conversation on whether or not we might see anything Legend of Zelda in the year of 2024. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And we have to first kick it off by hopping over to My Nintendo News, where they do have an updated article around this outstanding rumor that suggests that we might be getting something with Zelda as a playable character. Rumor: small update on the Switch Zelda game featuring Zelda playable as main character. You may remember that a rumor was doing the rounds that Nintendo or a third party is working on a The Legend of Zelda game for the Nintendo Switch, which features Princess Zelda as the main playable character. Today, Papa Gino has given a small update on the project, stating that he will most likely provide more clarification in his June Direct prediction video, and that the game is in no way related to the rumored The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild enhanced port for Nintendo Switch 2. Here is what he said. Can't speak in depth about it now, but might be in his June Direct predictions video. It's not related to the haircut concept art for Tears of the Kingdom. He just used that image as an opportunity to tweet out the hint. It's not related to the rumored Breath of the Wild enhanced port for Switch 2. So you may or may not remember in my own video covering that topic originally, I even speculated at maybe this is some kind of additional content or playable mode in the rumored Breath of the Wild 4K remaster, or whatever we can expect it to be called, because it does look like that one more even than this rumor I think is for sure happening. This due to the source around it. It's Midori, who has essentially a flawless track record. They're saying there is a U-King-O game in development. That's the project code name at Nintendo, and U-King is the Breath of the Wild code name. And we've seen Nintendo do another dash with a new letter when they're doing some kind of port or remaster or enhanced version, and it lines up perfectly with the Gamescom 2023 rumor that was that Nintendo was showing off some kind of 4K playable version of Breath of the Wild with virtually no load times. Many, including myself, thought that was some kind of tech demo that was being advertised to the game developers, not necessarily something that would make it to market. But Nintendo may indeed be gearing up for a number of their select titles on Nintendo Switch 1 to basically just be up-res to 4K and re-released with patches and upgrades for Nintendo Switch 2, kind of like what Sony does, where we have a PS5 version of a PS4 game, it runs better, it has a visual patch and upgrade, and you maybe pay something like $10 to get that visual update if you already own the base game, or it's an opportunity to just resell a game, and if you don't own it at all, you might have to pay the full price. I don't think Nintendo's going to be throwing out Breath of the Wild at a $70 retail and just saying that's the only way you can play the enhanced version, although I wouldn't put it past them. It's definitely a possibility, but I'm hopeful that we see some kind of upgrade path for us existing users that own Breath of the Wild and just want to enjoy the enhancements. But my speculation was maybe this is a smaller Zelda spin-off content type of thing, where we see games like 3D Mario World plus Bowser's Fury, where Bowser's Fury is like the add-on content to get you to kind of justify yourself to get the game if you already purchased it on the Wii U when it was re-released for the Switch, because you might not double dip on a game like Super Mario 3D World twice, but when you see the extra content that is Bowser's Fury attached to it, kind of like a sandbox open world or open zone type 3D Mario experiment that is, you might pick it up. And a lot of people did double dip for that reason, myself included, and I thought maybe we're gonna get Breath of the Wild and some extra DLC content, or rather side content that's attached to the game, would be a playable section of the game from Zelda's perspective, or maybe you're going back more in depth through the memories, but you were seeing things from Zelda's viewpoint and actually playing as her as part of that story. Well, it sounds like these are entirely not related. So whatever this is, this mystery project for a Zelda game where she's the main playable character in a Zelda installment, it's not tied to any Breath of the Wild rumors out there, which I think really opens up the possibilities, because one other direction they could go is a 2D Zelda game, a fresh Link's Awakening style visual setup, but essentially you were playing as Zelda instead of Link, and it still has those classic Zelda dungeons and puzzles and mechanics around it. That's definitely a direction that they could potentially go. This could be a smaller team, like or maybe a partner studio that's not necessarily being done from a main Zelda team, and maybe it's more of like a Cadence of Hyrule smaller type of game spin-off, or even something like a Hyrule Warriors game where you're playing as a number of different characters, but the main character in the story is Princess Zelda, and that's where this rumor is coming from. There's not a whole lot of clarity around that, and Papageno has actually said that he's going to update, essentially something more that he can share around it in his June Direct prediction videos. You do have to keep in mind, obviously, nothing's official till Nintendo says it, and this could be a content creator putting out something that to kind of advertise their own stuff. You always have to keep that in the back of your mind. Granted, I do tend to believe that due to this individual's track record so far, that's not necessarily what's going on here. So again, we just have to kind of wait on the sidelines and see, but I do think that it's interesting to have the confirmation that, one, it's not Tears of the Kingdom artwork related. It doesn't mean we're playing as that Zelda character. It's something potentially entirely different. And would Nintendo go to like a beloved era of the Zelda franchise, like Ocarina of Time, and you're seeing things from Zelda's perspective and playing as Sheik as part of the time? Like, that's literally a kind of a crazy possibility that they could do. And then again, to bring up Princess Peach Showtime, not just because they're both princesses in Nintendo's universe, but Princess Peach Showtime really capitalized on Peach's characteristics within the Mario universe and kind of made a stage play presentation. I don't think they give that same kind of treatment to Zelda. I think depending on what era of Zelda they target here, if it's something like from Wind Waker with Tetra, well then, I mean, we might have like a full-on action adventure platforming game on our hands, and that would be a really interesting direction to see them go with something that's branded Legend of Zelda. And maybe it's not branded Legend of Zelda. It could be something featuring Zelda, or just Zelda's on the title somewhere, but it's not necessarily a The Legend of Zelda game. These are all very real possibilities, and I just thought it was interesting to get some clarification around this rumor. And again, we really have to wait until the June Direct, because if this is indeed in Papageno's June Direct predictions video in terms of some updated information, I'm assuming that he is assuming that this game's going to be there. So we don't have to wait too much longer to find out what Zelda content we can expect for us fans in 2024, or maybe this game doesn't come out in 2024, but I'm thinking most of what we see at the June Direct, if not all of it, does launch in 2024. So that's exciting. But if I'm being honest, I'm just ready for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, or even a new 2D Zelda, even something like an Oracle Games remaster. Ocarina of Time remaster I think will come eventually, but I think it will be on a Switch 2 type of release with a major visual overhaul, not just like a simple 3DS redone textures and visuals and things. I think they're going to go all out when they finally decide to do an Ocarina of Time remaster this go around. But I do feel pretty good about the odds of us having something new that is Legend of Zelda related to play in 2024, and we have a number of different rumors now backing up some potential different directions Nintendo could go. So let me know in the comments down below which, if any, of the projects you would be most hyped to see, whether they're just ports and remasters of Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and that's really what you hope we see from Nintendo this year, or do you think they might do something, maybe they actually still deliver those around the holiday season, but then they also give us this Legend of Zelda game that has Zelda as the main playable character? And how do you think Nintendo handles the whole 4K upgrade thing for Breath of the Wild? Is that a repackaged re-release game for Switch 2, and that's the only way you can experience that enhanced version? Or do you think Nintendo does something like the $10 upgrade path for people who have already bought it via backwards compatibility on their next gen hardware? And do you think they do that for a lot of their games, or just a handful of their big, most popular sellers? So thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. Make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless of if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.